going up against the Hunter. That can get really, really interesting.
Probably the Shade and Ooze version, right?
Absolutely, that's just going to be the version we know with the oozes, shades, and all the stuff. Just flood the enemy, flood the board, kill him with all the stuff you have. And this reminds me of a CV start from the VGVN. He went like Innervate, Shade, Coin, Shade in one game. So
wow.
From the beginning, it was against Nyria, if I remember correctly, in the finals. And he had like 2 shades out of nowhere. The funny part about the Kalento Druid is actually that Kalento got killed by it from Civis. I think it was 3-0 in the end for Civis when Kalento won the first game against that Druid version. That was pretty hilarious to watch, I have to admit.
Yeah, he goes for the Innovate Shade. Of course, a really strong opening.
Absolutely. If there's no flare for Kaldi early on, you're going to have that Shade against you. It's going to be
Deadly Shot.
Bigger. A Deadly Shot I haven't seen in ages. I remember when the 100 versions were newer and you didn't have like the versions how they're constructed now. There was a Deadly Shot in every version.
Yeah, just one.
And well, it was pretty cool, I have to say. Especially with Handlock coming back now more and more. You can, and especially with the Buzzard and Leroy nerf in the future, you could think about going back to, I don't know, a Hunter with Loot Hoarder, still Death Rattly, but a bit more control-y in the end with maybe some Deadly Shots and stuff like this. I don't think Hunter is dead. Well, it will be probably, but Freeze Mage comeback, that's what I fear the most. No, not Freeze Mage, Secret Mage comeback, that would I fear the most.
Secret Keeper?
With Secret Keeper and everything. And those stuff. That's going to be annoying. I'm still missing some Druid secrets, I have to say. Mad Scientist and Druid, that would be great. Like some Entangling Roots. Actually, Entangling Roots would be a great secret for
but there aren't
the Druid.
Well, I'm pretty happy that not every class has secrets.
Absolutely. We need some neutral secret reveal cards. Actually, a minion that revealed secret to some extent. That would be
They
pretty
will
cool.
Come.
Sooner or later.
Sooner or later. During
Absolutely
the next
agree.
years. I mean, HearthStone is still young.
Absolutely. We hit 20 million players, if I'm not mistaken. Whoa. Well, I'm just wondering why we don't have Kaldi's file there. What did Timo mess up there? I think we're gonna check for the next game what went wrong in the end. And we got the Stonetas board Timberwolf play, so it looks like a version Nimsh was playing from the Hunter.
Yeah, the more aggressive one.
Well, we already got 2 minions out, or 1 ooze out for StrifeCro. If he wants to, he can deal 8 damage right off the spot with his roar. Won't happen though. It'd be crazy. Would you tank the 1 damage and keep your minions alive, healthy?
Yes, I would.
Absolutely. I mean, he just wasted a Timberwolf, and if there is an Unleash play, he would need a Timberwolf if he wants to kill your stuff. What I don't like about StrifeCro's hand is, turn 5, it goes on for him. And until turn 5, there is going to be nothing more. That's like...
Not yet. Let's see what he gets. There's a flare. Just got draw a flare.
Yeah. And the Hunter Creeper, well, Hunter's Creeper, always a great obstacle. I mean, he can run in both oozes and kill one of the remains. Well, there's Swipe. That's a goodie. And you kind of need to kill it. I mean, turn 4 coming up. Houndmaster is what's real. Turn 4, always. I mean, the Hunter always has the Huntmaster turn 4. No surprise, no secret. You need to kill it, and then you're going to lose 1 ooze in the end. And shoutouts to our producer. Could you open a window, or are we going to die from bad air? And you're going to lose your casters.
It's not only bad, it's just really hot in here.
Just throwing that in the microphone here for you guys, so you know how we feel. We're getting melted in that studio here. And we're going to see the clear now of that Hunter Creeper. No surprise, I have to say.
I liked the swipe into the face, even though it's sort of overextending, I think.
I don't agree with that, I have to say. Even if there's a Huntmaster play now, he would need to attack with 2 oozes and a zero ability or play a Savage Roar. And therefore, he should have kept the swipe. I mean, he would lose only 1 ooze if he went for hero ability and the trades. So there was no need for this. Charge that one up and...
Go for the face.
Yeah, go for the face. And definitely kill that stupid raptor.
And the good thing is, by doing so, with turn 5 coming up, he got rid of two of the small minions, so there's no way that Kaldi can actually respond with a Buzzard Unleash.
And that was the good thing about the swipe play. If you reconsider it, he played it turn 4 to turn 5, be able to go on with his mana curve. And his only play would have been now, just swipe to clear the board. And, well, that is not as optimum as actually throwing out a charger like this. I'm going to see the Cairn on the board.
Yeah, what else is there to play?
Or Lothar, for example. But I guess I prefer Cairn more, especially with a Force of Nature in hand. So even if there is a freezing trap, you could Force of Nature, bait out the freezing trap, and then deal more damage with your trees. I like that one a lot. That's a goodie. Brings him now to 16 already, and turn 9 is at the moment the win for StrifeCro.
Yep. Certainly looks like it.
And we get the Lothar play also. Iron Beak Owl, kill command. Iron Beak Owl kill command would be great. Or Iron Beak Owl unleash Hunter's Mark, it doesn't matter, but he just gets rid of what is on the board. Wow. That was a goodie. Double Hunter's Mark even, okay. Never thought anything. That was just huge. You just get rid of the complete board and you deal 6 damage to the face. But you're down to 1 card for Kaldi. Defend of Argus.
Low tap, durability, and then
The good thing is you can trade next turn and then just play Force of Nature if you want to kill his Savannah Highmane remains, for example.
Why didn't he go for the face?
Why didn't he go for the face? He fears that he might die. I mean, there's 8 damage. 8 damage with a kill command, already 13 damage, and then with a Leroy follow-up, you could already be melted. Or with a Huntmaster now, for example. Huntmaster you could have prevented. But you don't want to take extra damage, I think. Oh man, if that Druid of the Claw only cost 4, you could have gone for the Defender of Argus plays. How much damage is that?
Tank.
With a Savage Roar, if you go for 5, 9, plus 6, that's 15 damage. It's just 1 damage of lethal.
Yep.
How damn you, RNG and everything. Well, you can just go for a Defender of Argus 2 and deal 6, 7 damage. But with a Druid of the Claw, you're a bit better.
Druid of the Taunt. Druid of the Taunt.
Druid of the Taunt.
Druid of the Claw is beer form.
Awesome
and
minion.
then hero ability up, go for the face, and see if you win or lose next turn.
Yeah. Where can I buy that one? The Druid of the Taunt.
Druid of the Taunt.
That one sounds so good.
That's a new expansion.
We need to rename that creature. Okay, we get the bear form, and therefore he can deal 6 damage still to the face, even armor up by 1, and 14 damage is not gonna get burned by Kaldi in any way. Their advantage if you go for the Argus. Like, the only advantage I see on this is you have another charger. So if the game draws in length, for example, he attacks now and then he taunts up with a Huntmaster and for some reason clears the board, you might be happier to have a charger. So if the game goes longer. But I think it's going to be anyways won by StrifeCro the next turn, just going crazy with his Druid, even though he didn't swarm Kaldi so much. And he can just trade. If he had at least a Buzzard, that would be a great one for Kaldi. So he could Buzzard, trade, draw 2 cards, get awesome stuff, go on and on and on with it. And I'm going to check the files. Why we don't have a
I think he
cards.
might be holding a kill command. Like 1 at least. The problem is Hunter's Marks have both been used.
Absolutely. That was
no Huntmaster yet.
That was especially a questionable move. He could have traded there with his Savannah Highmane instead of using the second Hunter's Mark, and it might have been better in the end if he actually kept it. Timberwolf too, so he can deal his 7 damage. And the kill command, so he had it. You were saying it, we saw it, and he can deal his 9 damage. And the taunt was so important. If he didn't have the taunt, he would 100% be dead.
Now it's over.
Now it's over. Force of Nature Roar. Unleash the trees for StrifeCro. Unleash them and win the game.
Yep, that was valuable.
1-0 for Strife.
But yeah, the double taunt that he drew into. Like, Defender was enough, but also the Druid of the Claw would have been sufficient.
That was a really good one. And now we're going to see the Tempo Druid again from StrifeCro. And the only question there, oh, Timo, that was great. You just ran through the camera while we were there. Good job. That was one of our awesome interns doing, well, no, that's not right. I'm sorry. Timo, actually, for everyone who knows Timo, our awesome graphics guy, he advanced from an intern, how is it called, to apprentice? Is it apprentice? So he's our graphic apprentice now, doing the magical stuff behind Take TV. If you see any graphics in news or like Facebook or wherever, that's probably made by Timo. Oh, and now back to Hearthstone. Good match from StrifeCro, and we're gonna see the Tempo Druid again.
Yeah, looking forward to see it, and also what Kaldi has prepared against it. I mean, it's a really strong deck.
What do you
like?
think?
What would you play against it?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you the same, but again. Rogue is possible.
If Hunter is gone.
Hunter is gone. Rogue is possible, absolutely. Merkle Rogue with a Blade Flurries, you can deal quite good with it. The only problem is the Spectral Knight, so that one is annoying. But if there is no Spectral Knight,
would you go for a Rogue, really?
Yeah, or Paladin.
I think the Paladin is better.
Or Priest.
Priest is also strong. I don't like the Rogue because of the taunts. He saw a Defender of Augurs. He knows there are Druid of the taunts in there.
Druid of the taunts. Damn you! And no, Kaldi is not going in any way where we thought. He just goes for Druid himself.
Oh, mirror match.
A mirror match. So we're gonna see. Oh, that's gonna be real. Oh well, let's not say that's a mirror match. Oh, that's a mirror match hero-wise, but we do not know if he's playing the same as Colanto or if he's just going full taunt Druid, like Ramp Druid. Well, not a good start for StrifeCro. He has an Echoing Ooze, congratulations, and a double Innervate. This is not helpful at all, we have to say. It's like the worst start. If you go in the tournament with that hand, you actually don't want to play anymore.
No.
As soon as he draws he draws a Cairn turn 2, and it's like just innovate Cairn. Don't care.
And there's the Naturalize.
Yeah, that would be horrible. Well, against a Cairn, it would be okay to some extent.
Would be fine.
You're missing still that Naturalized deck from who was a Nexus? I don't remember. It was an ERNS player, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know who it was, but the deck was named Dr. Burn.
Yeah,
I loved it.
So-called Dr. Burn. And we get for Kaldi and StrifeCro the Echoing. The Echoing Oozes are everywhere. They're real. I would go so far.
Would you consider Roaring?
No, I would play my.
Or just go Ooze. And then next turn, go Savage Roar.
Yep, or Swipe even. You can go both in the end. I wouldn't trade there. I thought about not trading to swipe his face next turn. So you could have just attacked the face. He does the same trade you did, and then you just swipe the face, for example. But I like how he attacked, that he actually killed one and not brought both down to 1 HP, which would have made no sense. And therefore, he's pretty looking good with his board.
Swipe trade.
Swipe trade. Agreed. Could do that. Can also just play your Harvest Golem, trade one, and go for the face further on. But you would have to fear his swipe as a counterpart.
Yep.
I think it's okay if you go for your Harvest Golem and then just see what he drops his turn for, and then you can still swipe. It ain't necessary to go for it now. I mean, you can trade your 1/1 into his 1/1, have 2 1/2 oozes, and even if he swipes there, your oozes are going to survive. So it would be completely okay. Yeah, the Harvest Golem is better, I have to admit. The swipe seems to be the optimum play, but the Harvest Golem pays out more. Oh, wow. So Colanto just went for... I'm sorry. StrifeCro just went for the instant roar to clear the board here. That was also an option, especially if you don't have any creatures to innovate out. And I mean, he's not running anything above 7 mana except the scenarios. So 1 innervate is more than enough.
And he cannot lose control of his board.
Absolutely not. StrifeCro just initiated the race. But I have to say, I would have kept the roar for 1 more turn. A simple reason is, if there is a Spectral Knight, for example, if both players still run him, you're kind of screwed, since you would need to get rid of this Spectral Knight with only running creatures in, and with a roar it's rather easy. Yeah, innovate out. your minion. You could have gone for the swipe to trade that, but no actual reason to go for it. Just wait a turn and then cleared. Imagine we would see a swipe from Kaldi now. He could trade, swipe, trade. It would be huge if he had one.
Could kill the majority of the board. Like, only 2 oozes would survive.
Absolutely. And StrifeCro is considering if he should trade in something. I don't think so. There's no need for that. Let Kaldi deal with what is on the board. He needs a swipe to do something. Like this, if you don't want to lose his Druid of the Claw, he would need to kill the Harvest Golem. That's like one of his only targets to take there. I can bring down the Harvest Golem completely with his Echoing Ooze or his Hero Power if there's nothing to play on his hand. With a swipe, it would look extremely cool for him. He could do a lot more than that. Leave StrifeCro with 2 minions left on the board with both 1 HP.
Yep.
Oh, Kaldi's playing a Roar himself. I like that one. So you can kill the 5/5. You can kill the Harvest Golem, and you can hear. Wow, that was even better.
Cross.
And you're not gonna lose your. Oh, that one was cool. You're not gonna lose your Druid of the Claw in the end.
Well, now you will. It's okay.
Now he will. That's correct. But he would need to Raz, run in his Harvest Golem remains and Hero ability, or run in an Ooze. Then he can play a Harvest Golem again. And next turn 7 is another Ancient of Lore, but Kaldi has the opportunity to start putting something great on the board first. That's a goodie. What are we going to see for Kaldi?
I think it should be Harvest Raz.
It would be Harvest Raz. I like that one more, since if you don't go for the Harvest, you only have 2 Echoing Oozes on the board, and you do not have a reward to boost them up. So they are not that strong. Okie doke. Mr. StrifeCro taking his time. The funny part about StrifeCro is he's not even giving us hindsight of his thought process. He's never moving his mouse. It's like you're watching him and he could be AFK, not at his PC, or he's just sitting there.
Doorbell.
I mean, all the other players, they are normally hovering over their cards, and you can see what they're thinking about, and StrifeCro's just like...
I mean, it's better for us. The
other way?
The other way would be better for us if he's actually hovering over the cards, but if he does that, and a good player actually pays attention to that, you can get a lot of insight into what he might be holding.
Absolutely. I know what you mean. But you could over-predict too in the end. We get the Spectral Knight finally on the board, and our producer knows that the HearthStone Doodaloo stopped and we don't have any music anymore. At least he knows now. And yeah, 2 cards for StrifeCro. Defender of Argus. That's a goodie. And another Druid of the Claw. Down to 15.
That's a lot of damage.
That's huge in his hand. I mean, he got 8, 12, plus an Argus if he wants to play it. That would be 14 damage next turn, if everything survives. There's going to be Echoing Ooze, and I guess we're going to see the Argus himself for Kaldi. Yes, no surprise. Look at this, how strong his board gets.
Yeah, and he's also a... Okay.
That could get really interesting.
Oh.
Okie doke. We got 2-3, 2-3. Another Savage Roar. That's just what you want to see in this situation. So he could choose to Savage Roar if he wants to.
Could clear everything.
Could clear everything. I would consider to go for a Savage Roar.
But I think silencing Spectral Knight.
But why would you? If you can just easy mode kill it and flood the board with more stuff. I thought about silencing the Spectral Knight too, but I don't see a reason to do it.
Because then you go for... never mind. Defender.
You can go for Druid of the Claw, charge it up, or taunt it up, and then just roar, for example. And I think that's a goodie. You can also go for the, if you go for the Defend of Argus and then swipe something, you can actually still kill the Spectral Knight and keep your tree alive. That one I like. You go for the swipe, clear most of the board, and you get a 3-2 and a 6-1 there. If there's no swipe on Kaldi's side, he's just getting demolished by the Druid of the Claw and the Saboteur plays. That would be great.
How can he get out of this?
Can he get out of this? Okay, considering he has a swipe.
If he has a swipe, he clears
The Harvest Golem
everything.
swipes there, clears that, and then he actually survives. So their swipe turns the tides for Kaldi now. But if you say it's well played, it seems to be not a swipe in his hand. Oh, there was a well played, I just own you completely. Maybe. Shade of Naxxramas.
Doesn't look like it.
Oh, he's teasing us. No, Spectral Knight. Oh, that was easy. Here's some Doodaloo again. Cool. So we get the cat form, Roar, and StrifeCro is going to go in a, well, crushing 2-0 versus Kaldi.
Yep.
And therefore, the last vVv player is down.
Cloud9 wins.
Cloud9 wins. If you're surprised now, you're like,